The wise man sat before the crowd, his voice filled with wisdom and concern. In modern times, he began, women are often exploited and disrespected. This exploitation has deep roots in the influence of Western culture and the Bible, which has led to confusion and a lack of respect for the very mothers who give birth to us. He paused, allowing his words to resonate with his audience. Let's examine how the Bible treats women, he continued. Deuteronomy 22:20-21 commands that if a bride is found not to be a virgin, she should be stoned to death. In 1 Corinthians 14:34, it is stated that women should remain silent in churches and be in submission. 1 Timothy 2:12 forbids women from teaching or having authority over men, insisting they must remain quiet. Deuteronomy 25:11-12 dictates that if a wife intervenes in a fight to help her husband, her hand must be cut off without mercy. The crowd listened intently as the wise man recited more verses. In 1 Corinthians 11:6, it is said that if a woman does not cover her head, it should be shaved. He saw the looks of disbelief and concern on their faces and continued, and there's more. In Judges 21:10-24, the Israelites were instructed to kill every male and non-virgin female in Jabesh Gilead, sparing only the virgins. In Numbers 31 verse 17-18, Moses commands his army to kill all male Midianites and non-virgin women, but to keep the virgins for themselves. The wise man then contrasted these with the teachings of the Quran and the Hadiths. In Islam, he said, women are honored and protected. The Quran 4:1 states, O mankind, fear your Lord, who created you from one soul and created from it its mate, and dispersed from both of them many men and women, and fear Allah, through whom you ask one another, and the wombs. Indeed, Allah is ever over you, an observer. This verse emphasizes the shared humanity and dignity of men and women. He continued, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said in his farewell sermon, O people, it is true that you have certain rights with regard to your women, but they also have rights over you. Remember that you have taken them as your wives only under Allah's trust and with his permission. If they abide by your right, then to them belongs the right to be fed and clothed in kindness. This hadith clearly upholds the mutual respect and rights between men and women. In the Quran, Surah An-Nisa 4:18 commands, O you who have believed, it is not lawful for you to inherit women by compulsion, and do not make difficulties for them in order to take back part of what you gave them unless they commit a clear immorality, and live with them in kindness. Islam mandates kindness and respect towards women. He then pointed out another verse, Surah Al-Ahzab 33:35, which states, the Muslim men and Muslim women, the believing men and believing women, the obedient men and obedient women, the truthful men and truthful women, the patient men and patient women, the humble men and humble women, the charitable men and charitable women, the fasting men and fasting women, the men who guard their private parts and the women who do so, and the men who remember Allah often, and the women who do so. For them, Allah has prepared forgiveness and a great reward. The wise man concluded, unlike the Bible, which contains many verses that degrade women, the Quran uplifts them. It is time to reject these misrepresentations and embrace the true teachings of Islam, which honor and protect the dignity of women. Let us strive for a society based on justice and respect, as taught by the Quran. The Quran is free from such contradictions and is the last testament preserved by Allah. It is paramount to look at it and heed its guidance for the salvation of humanity. The crowd listened intently, absorbing the powerful contrast between the treatment of women in the Bible and the Quran. The wise man had made a compelling case for the justice and respect inherent in Islam's teachings.